Welcome to the third Goblin Abyss video development blog. If you've watched our earlier videos, you will know the Goblin Abyss is an action RPG game for iOS set in an underground world populated by goblins and all sorts of other fantasy creatures. It's still early in development, and everything in these development videos is still a work in progress, so it could change at a later date. In our last video, I showed you some of our character rigs and early graphical tests which were created to work out polygon counts on the iPhone. In this one, I'm going to switch to the environments and show you how our levels are created. This is what our levels look like in the Unity editor. This is the mine level, near the start of the game. Our hero is looking for black powder, which he needs to use on some fallen rocks which have blocked his path. This level still needs a little more work, but it's slowly getting there. And here are those same mine elements open in Maya. All the environments in the Goblin Abyss are created out of lots of smaller pieces, sort of like a giant jigsaw puzzle. There are lots of elements like rocks, walls, floors, cliffs, doors, etc. And then all these elements can be placed together to form a much larger level. Here are the mine walls you just saw in Unity, some wooden supports, and the mine rails. You can probably tell this is for mobile. All the parts are very low polygon, but are also viewed from above on a small screen, so the polygon counts don't really need to be that high anyway. By using a small collection of meshes like these, it's possible to create a large and varied level, although the textures are limiting, and all of these objects actually use the same texture map. Each level in the Goblin Abyss only uses 2 texture maps, to keep draw calls down and to save memory, so I have to draw all the textures into an atlas. The more things I can fit onto the same atlas, the less memory will be used, which is very important on a mobile device, but even more importantly, it will reduce the number of draw calls. It's important to keep the draw calls down on a phone. Too many will slow the game down so much that it will become unplayable. By combining all the textures into an atlas, the environments can be drawn in just a few draw calls. Once I have all the elements modelled and texture mapped, I can bring them all into Unity and start creating a level. This video is sped up a little, but as you can see, I can drag elements into the scene and start placing them where I like. I'll start by adding some floor elements. Next I'll add a big rock to break up the floor a little, and perhaps another smaller one that can sit next to it. This level needs some walls. I have a set of larger rocks which are much taller than the ones I just placed. I use these taller ones as walls and can place them wherever I like to build rooms and corridors into the level. I've added in a few more elements, like plants and some mushrooms, so next I'll add in some lights, because the mushrooms are bioluminescent and help light the level. Once all the level is built and all the lights have been placed, I can bake the lighting into a light map. The light map stores all the lighting information so that it doesn't have to be calculated in real time. It takes a few minutes to render, but once it's finished you end up with a nicely lit scene with shadows and bounce light. Okay, this simple test isn't the best, but I hope it gives you the basic idea of how the levels are created. It takes a lot longer than the example I just showed you, but with more time and better light placement, you can end up with something looking more like this. As you can see, the shadows are a lot darker, and I've tinted some of the rocks to make the level look more varied than it really is. There's also some additional glow effects added to the mushrooms. Well, that's about all I have for this video, but please check back soon for our next video blog. Don't forget you can get all the latest updates on our website, thegoblinabyss.com. Thanks for watching.